narcissistic abuse. I use this as a catch-all term for anything that is in the abusive, toxic personality cluster of traits. So you could be dealing with somebody who is a psychopath, or more properly as antisocial personality disorder, borderline, histrionic, obsessive compulsive personality issues, somebody who is a rageaholic, all these different kinds of things. Actually what starts to happen is you will get a post-traumatic type of response. It was horrifying to me. At the level of my map of reality being challenged, there were things that she did, there were things that she said, my mind could play out certain incidents and go, look at this, it's awful. But I was a fairly robust character, I would say, and I really don't think that any of that did massive amounts of damage. It is dangerous. And if you accidentally or purposefully put the wrong idea inside of somebody's mind, the effects could be catastrophic. That's the essence of narcissistic abuse. And why it's so damaging is because it messes with the core of your reality. We can share stories of what our partners did, the stories, the sordid little tales, and sometimes it's interesting, and sometimes it's funny, and sometimes it's pathetic, and sometimes, and it's interesting, but that's not the core of the damage. I would even go so far as to say, even if you were being physically harmed, the fact that you're caused to live in a hyper-adrenalized, hypervigilant state is what caused the damage. And in that hypervigilant, hyper-adrenalized state, suggestions go in much more deeply. And what narcissists do is they chip away at your sense of self and at the core of your sense of what is real and what's not. You can't talk to people who've not been through it about this, because they will tell you that you're lying. If they're rude enough and bold enough, they'll tell you straight to your face, you've got this wrong and you're lying. They will tell you it doesn't exist, or that it's not important, even worse, that it's not important, and they'll make you swim in a soup of moral relativism where you don't know up from down and you don't know right from wrong anymore, and it effectively re-traumatizes you. People then live the rest of their lives as empty shells. They become very, very bitter. They just age and live shit lives where they're no longer thriving, they're just surviving, and they're not having a good time. If somebody corrupts the core of your being and your sense of reality, if somebody causes you to believe, look, love isn't real, humans aren't compassionate and caring, they're predatory monsters who will take your love and leverage that love against you to torture you. Unless you've been through it, you do not know what it is. But if you have been through it, and I say to you, it's like being tortured, and they will leverage your love against you and torture you until you are totally destroyed. They want that, they drink that, that's what is tasty for them. This very commonplace, everyday evil. There's no legal sanctions for this. You can't place a legal sanction against somebody for making you feel bad. You can't place a legal sanction against somebody for breaking your heart. There is no such crime as breaking another person's heart or messing with their head. Even onto the point of ripping them off, you've got nothing. There's no legal fallback position. The law can't help you. It's like an invisible abuse that nobody outside of the narcissistic abuse or complex PTSD community even wants to acknowledge, because and I don't blame them, it's horrifying, it's a horrible idea, it's really charming and friendly, is behind the scenes working to break their will, to confuse their sense of reality, to deliberately target their self-esteem and their self-image, to psychologically and emotionally break them down, to inflict their will, the narcissist will, the predator's will, onto that target and onto that prey. Nobody wants to deal with that. It's a horrible idea. The idea that people would do, no, people, look, there are sick people out there, but what you're talking about, no, that goes too far. That's the answer you will get. This kind of abuse is so torturous and does such deep and long-term damage to the people it victimizes. The big effect of narcissistic abuse, self-isolation. You're hurt, the mammalian response to being damaged and to being injured is to self-isolate and to withdraw from the world. Great. So now you can't talk to anybody who hasn't been narcissistically abused, because they'll send you crazy, because they'll deny the truth of what you've been through, which is going to re-trigger you and re-traumatize you. And you're going to feel like self-isolating. So guess what? You're probably not spending that much time around people right now at a time when you really need support, you really need to do that. But because it's so triggering, it's upsetting, it's going to be hard to. So self-isolation is one big thing. Post-traumatic type symptoms. Extreme nervousness for no reason, being very jumpy, being very hypervigilant, being very adrenalized. Nightmares where you like in movies, where people wake up and they sit up bolt upright, sweating with their eyes open wide, going, no. Nobody actually wakes from a dream like that. That's what I used to say. That's how being threat. And I know other people have as well. The third major impact of narcissistic abuse that I want to address: your whole reality goes dark, where there is no joy, no light, no laughter, no fun. All of that goes, and then we lose hope.